Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Real Positive Girl podcast with me, Sabrina. This is the show that'll help you become your best self. And today we're talking about how to get past limiting beliefs. But before we jump into that, as always, I want to invite you to come say hi to me on Instagram and on TikTok. I'm at Sabrina Joy Perozzo, and I'd love to hear from you and become friends online. That would be absolutely fantastic. You're also welcome to send me an email at realpositivegirlpodcast@gmail.com. I am answering all emails over there, and I'd love to hear from you. If you have a topic suggestion, there's also a link in the show notes for you to anonymously submit a topic suggestion if you don't want to just send one directly to me via email, which you're also welcome to do. Either way is fine. And then also down in the show notes, I believe there's a link for you to join the Real Positive Girl community, which is a Facebook community online. So if you want to join that community, I'm trying to figure out the best ways to show up there and do the best I can for you guys there. And if you have any input on that, let me know as well. But check out all the show notes. Everything down there is cool, interesting. You can sign up for my weekly newsletter, all those things. So go ahead and check those out. But let's go ahead and just jump right into today's episode, which again is how to get past limiting beliefs. So I'm sure when we're thinking about what is holding us back from achieving our goals or changing our mindset or pushing through experiences or past traumas and all this crap that we have gone through or that we're currently going through, we aren't really thinking about what mindsets are holding us back, right? We're not thinking like, oh my gosh, this mindset is the thing that's holding us back. We are looking more like external because it seems more likely that it's something outside of ourselves that is causing our issues rather than something we actually have control over, right? It just doesn't make sense. It's like, no, it could not possibly, it could not possibly be me. I am the drama. Like that whole meme of like, I am the drama, I am the problem. How could I possibly be the problem? Because it just seems like it would be too easy, right? Like if it's something that we could fix on our own, why haven't we done it yet? It's also has a lot to do with like ego and pride and getting in our own ways, of course, but it just seems too easy when in reality it's exactly that. And a lot of times we are holding ourselves back from doing like whatever it is that we want to do because of these limiting beliefs. And limiting beliefs are exactly how they sound. They are beliefs that we allow for us to hold on to and know about ourselves and things that hold us back from doing something that we want to do, like whether we want to achieve a goal or go try something new or different and something that's outside of our comfort zone typically. And these are generally beliefs that aren't true, just so you know, something that was made up based upon like an opinion or judgment we internalized or based on a previous experience or trauma that we went through that didn't turn out the way we thought it would. And this generally just really hit us negatively. And so we're like, oh my gosh, I failed at this thing. I'm never going to do it again, or I never can do it again, or I'll never be successful. I'll never do this, that, and the other, and, these beliefs don't need to be complicated or super deep because sometimes when we think about our mindset, we think that the things that are getting in our way or are plaguing us or giving us trouble have to be these super deep emotional things that are hard to understand. Absolutely not with limiting beliefs. Limiting beliefs are super common and easy. So here I'm going to give you 5 quick examples of some common limiting beliefs that you may be dealing with now or you have in the past, and just things that people generally deal with. The first one is I'm not good enough. I'll never be successful. I don't have enough experience. I'm not smart enough. Or I'll never be a great leader. And these are all common ones. So I feel like the most common one here is probably I'm not good enough. And a lot of us think that we are not good enough. And if you do need more help with understanding your own personal self-worth and how to dive deep into that, there will be new episodes coming on that here on the podcast. But I did just a couple, I think it was last episode or the episode before it, I did kind of dip into self-worth. So if you want to, get a jump start on that, you can listen to that one. That could really help you. But yeah, it's just these limiting beliefs are just so common. and easy for us to attach ourselves to and use those as basically a shield and an excuse. Some would call this excuse a reason, but it's really an excuse, not a reason why we are not going to go after certain things in our lives and why we're going to continue to live in fear. So in these limiting beliefs, though, I just want to really quickly tell you what the inverse, what the opposite of these limiting beliefs would be, so that you would know what you would want to translate it to or shift it to when you want to let go of the limiting beliefs. So for I'm not good enough, the inverse of that would be I am worthy and enough as I am, because you are. For I'll never be successful, you could say, you won't know what success really is until you try, so I need to try so I actually understand that success is seen in different ways, not in just one way. For I don't have enough experience, you would tell yourself, experience is best gained through doing what I can do to gain more, so I just need to go out and gain more, and maybe even get help and assistance in how I can get more experience so that I feel experienced enough to go after whatever it is that I'm seeking. For I'm not smart enough, you would tell yourself, if I need more education, I can seek help with understanding what I don't know and to understand and feel like I'm educated enough to do this thing. And then with the last one, I'll never be a great leader, you need to say to yourself, great leaders take time to grow and learn how they can best lead, and they're always continuing to learn more over time. A true leader has never done learning. And so that's the inverse, or like the mindset shift that I would say for each of these common limiting beliefs. So just something to consider, like if you want to be able to just jumpstart your ability, your desire to change these limiting beliefs, these are just some examples of how you can immediately switch it and then start believing in those new beliefs. But the best way to identify, because maybe you're not sure if you are living, like maybe these examples right here, that the examples that I just shared with you aren't like clicking with you or aligning with you. Maybe you're like, okay, well, those don't really go. Like, how else can I tell? The best way to identify a limiting belief is to take note of all the beliefs you have and see if you can pinpoint ones that don't align with the goals and desires that you have. I just want to say that I'm sorry that my voice sounds so different than normal. I am battling sickness, and I just apologize because I don't want that to be super annoying. So anyway, it's just like, oh my gosh, I hope I'm not annoying everyone. Okay, so yeah, so the way for you to identify limiting beliefs is for you to just be able to pinpoint beliefs that you currently have that you do not feel like align with your goals. And these could be the beliefs that are getting in the way, right? And you're like, oh, well, I don't believe that I will actually be able to finish a half marathon, and that's getting in the way of your desire of wanting to train and complete for a half marathon. And oh my gosh, why is that always my example for like a goal that you want to achieve? It's just literally the one that comes to me every single time. But yeah, so these beliefs could be getting in your way. Another way to go about it is to notice your behavior when it's negative or doesn't align with your desired achievements, and see what the beliefs beneath those actions are. So you want to find out, like, are you self-sabotaging and getting in your own way because you have failed previously and now live your life with a fear of failure, which would be the limiting belief? Or are you not moving forward with a great idea for like a business or a hobby or something like that because you fear the success that will come from it and are unsure if you can handle it or even how to go about handling it, or afraid you're going to get taken advantage of, or any of these things? Both of these are limiting beliefs. And so you need to, that would help you really identify, like, okay, what beliefs are actually getting in my way that I think are normal everyday beliefs, but they're actually getting in the way of me achieving my goals. And, I want to point out that the biggest reason we cling to these limiting beliefs is because we want to avoid struggle and failure. Like it's normal, right? Like no one wants to struggle, and People don't generally want to go through failure and mistakes. Those are common. And as I always say, one of the best ways for us to learn things and experience things and really be able to adjust our perspectives and our mindsets to think differently the next time. Because sometimes it can be really difficult to force ourselves to do that without having to go through those bumps and that shakiness of those experiences. But yeah, the biggest reason we cling to these things is because we don't want to deal with struggles and failures. Going through experiences where those things could happen are obviously not attractive. Like, that's a no-go. It's a zero. So we hold fast to limiting beliefs that prevent that from even being a possibility. And unfortunately, doing this will prevent us from achieving a majority of our goals because most things worth going after, like, you have to take risks and there is a high possibility of failure, and you generally always struggle because you're trying to freaking figure it out. So that is why I wanted to share with you how to push past your limiting beliefs. So here are 5 great tips on how to get past your limiting beliefs. Let's jump in. The first one, and yes, I did write these in order, so if that helps, it's kind of like start from the top from 1 to 5. That could help you. Also, just so you know, as always, this is not a conclusive list. If these things don't align with you, please do your own research. This is based on my own research and experience, and Google is your best friend. So, okay, so number 1 is accept that not everything in your mind is truth. This is something that I've said before several times, and I feel like it needs to be said more often because it's true. You know, our minds are so influenced by external experiences, both positive and negative, of course, but it all filters in, and a lot of times we can mistake something fake for something real, and then vice versa. You know, you got to stay on top of what you allow to take up space and what you kick to the curb. So you have to understand just from the get-go that with limiting beliefs and trying to get past those things, understand that not everything that's living up here in your mind is true. A lot of it is just like this fake crap that just needs to continue on its filtration, continue on the journey of filtering from in to out, as quick as possible, so you don't get caught up in thinking, oh wow, I kind of like that one. No, we don't need to. Okay, so you have to be on your toes. You have to be on your toes with what's coming in and what's going out. Okay, so number 2 is figure out where the belief came from. So every belief has an origin story. It's kind of like a superhero, not in a good way. Let's just say it's a villain, okay? I would say. So we got to figure out where this belief came from. I mean, positive and good beliefs that actually help you in your life, they have an origin story too. So, it's really like villains versus superheroes. That's legit. But you have to ask yourself, was it based on an opinion from someone else or yourself? Was it based on a judgment? Was it based on some sort of experience that you went through? Was it a previous failure or mistake? If you think that you will not be able to try a new business because you have fear of failure, or you're not going to apply for a new job because of fear of failure, where did that belief come from? Did it come from the fact that you have tried to do it in the past and it all fell apart? Did it come from the fact that someone told you that they do not believe in you and they don't think that you will be able to overcome any of the ups and downs that comes with applying for this new job or even getting the job, and that's what's stopping you? They're like, oh, you're not going to be able to do this job at all. And so you're like, oh my gosh, okay, they said I couldn't, so I can't. Or maybe it's the fact that it just feels so overwhelming for you to take on this job, even though it feels like a perfect fit, but it'll be a big learning curve and a big change in your life, and that seems like a lot. So figure out where the belief that is holding you back is coming from, because the more that you dig up where it's coming from, the more you understand why you are feeling this way, and the more you can pinpoint What needs to change? Oh, okay, I'm fearing this thing because it didn't go well before. Well, the experience before does not dictate what's going to happen now or in the future. Yes, things could repeat, but did I take and glean all the information from that previous experience into this one enough that it would be okay, that it would be fine? And, this one's going to turn out a little bit different. Maybe it'll still fail or not work out, but it's not going to be an exact replica of what happened before. And I'm just continuing to learn on and on and on. So figure out where the belief came from. Number 3, imagine no longer believing the limited belief. Like, that sounds amazing, right? You feel like when you're like, oh my gosh, would I be living in a utopia? Would this be crazy? Like, would this be some sort of out-of-body experience where I would no longer allow myself to believe that limiting belief? So, you got to ask yourself, how is this belief currently serving you? If you no longer allowed it to control you or lead you and guide you and like do anything to you, ask yourself how it's serving you now. You feel like the answer would be, it's protecting me from, having to experience this pain and failure and struggle again. Okay, well, what would you lose if you just let it go? Like, what would you lose? And you would probably say, well, I would be losing that protection that it's currently giving me, that barrier that maybe you would think it's a boundary. It's not really a boundary, but you would think it's a boundary. It's really like you sitting in a comfort zone, right? And that's what you would lose. Well, also, okay, you're going to lose that comfort zone. You're going to lose that quote unquote protection that you've created for yourself. But also ask you, what would you gain from letting it go? You would gain confidence. You probably would gain, like, your self-worth and self-esteem would increase. And your maybe ability to let go of people's opinions and judgments of you, be able to let those go a little bit easier and move forward. And you would actually gain the experience of going after your goals and your ambitions, which maybe that's not what you are currently experiencing. So imagine no longer having the limiting belief. Imagine just letting it go, letting it just like fall away. And how would that feel? How good would that feel? How different would that feel? So just really consider it, because it'll help you to be like, wow, okay, maybe I don't need this. Number 4, swap the limiting belief out with something more real and positive. So this kind of goes back to when I was talking about the inverse of like the common limiting beliefs that people have. You want to swap out your limiting belief with something more positive and directionally correct. And I'm not saying it has to be like super positive pie in the sky, like so much so that it feels like toxic positivity. No, it just needs to be more directionally correct, of not holding you back, but giving you back your power and your belief in yourself of like, okay, I can try this. It's okay. It's okay to fail. It's okay to make mistakes and struggles. That's what life is about, So swap out the limiting belief with something more real and positive. Provide yourself with evidence for how this new belief is also correct. So, like, if you tell yourself you can apply for a higher position job because you have the qualifications. This is like the evidence. You have the qualifications, you have the experience, and there really isn't anything you can lose by applying, whether you get the offer for the job or not. So you really want to give yourself this evidence of like, yeah, I can do this because of this and this and this. And there's not much to lose. And even if there is something to lose, like let's say you want to invest in something, but you're fearful that it won't turn out and that you'll lose your money and that it was a mistake, and then you may be considered a failure. Well, can you afford to lose that money and it not be a big deal? Have you created some sort of savings or some sort of plan where you could easily make that money back, or you have like some sort of plan to fall back on, right? Like, can you just afford to miss out if it doesn't work out? And it's just like, and will you learn a lot through the experience regardless? So swap out the limiting belief with something more real, more positive, more directionally correct and aligned with your goals, and it'll work out so much better for you, because it's not as though you're just like letting that belief go and just like floating through life. You're like, no, okay, we're going to let this one go. We're going to put this one in. It's a work in progress still sometimes, but it's still going to work for us. Okay, number 5, and our last one, is catch yourself when you allow the limiting belief to lead rather than your new thriving belief. I have deemed the inverse of a limiting belief to be thriving belief. I do not know if someone has already come up with this. I just came up with it on my own, and I think it would be fun to call it that, the thriving belief, because thriving doesn't necessarily indicate that it's like the tippy top best belief that you could have chosen. It's not the like direct inverse of the only option that there could be, like the complete opposite of your limiting belief. It is just the belief that offers you a life of more thriving and pushing through and achieving and believing and being your best self. Okay? So we're thriving. But so for some reason, like a lot of us have this issue where you don't think we have power over our mindsets, which like just boggles my mind, even for myself, guys, even for myself. So some reason we don't believe we have power over our mindsets, but we do. 110%. We absolutely have power over our mindsets. So when you start to allow the limiting belief to take charge, we need to stop and examine why we are allowing that to happen. Like, why are we allowing ourselves to fall into it? Sometimes it's just because things are getting really difficult and it's easier just to lean into that. It's so much easier to lean into anything that is more negative and less challenging than to stay positive and focused. So we need to stop and examine why we are allowing that to happen, then shift our mindset to a new belief that is more about growth and capability. We really need to focus on growth and capability because, again, it doesn't have to be a perfect belief. It just needs to be a belief that's more focused on, okay, how can we start from here and get better every little step? And what can we do that we are capable of doing now that will lead us to being capable of doing so much more in the future? So you just need to catch yourself when you are starting to slip into those limiting beliefs of telling yourself you can't do this, that, and the other, when maybe you cannot do it right now, but what can you do right now that can lead you to doing the thing that you want to do eventually, right? It's just taking a step every single day, small steps every single day. So hopefully that makes sense and that really helps you. It's just, you got to catch yourself, even in any mindset that you want to shift, anyone, not just limiting beliefs. If you want to be less of a people pleaser, you have to catch yourself in the behaviors and the actions and the mindsets, and then stop yourself and be like, why am I doing this? What has caused me to do this? You're taking like a quick inventory, and it sounds like a thing that takes a long time for you to do in the moment, but really it doesn't. It really just takes you probably like a minute or two at the most, sometimes quicker. And you're like, wait, what? I don't want to do that. No, I don't need to be doing that. I don't need to be like only like focus on their needs. I need to be focused on my needs. Okay, let's take a step back, widen our perspective. Okay, wait, I don't need to do this. I can just focus on me. Okay, like we're okay, right? It's just like you're continually making these like little like quick shifts and changes, and it becomes easier the more you do it. And so if you like, we'll never be perfect and never like fall into those negative things. It's just that the skill that we're acquiring is being able to shift out of them with ease and in a quicker amount of time than we currently do now. That is the skill that we are working to obtain. So anyway, I think that really will help with not just limiting beliefs, but with all mindsets that we are trying to change and evolve. But that is all that I have to share with you guys on how to push past and get past limiting beliefs. So thank you so much for listening to the Real Positive Girl podcast. Again, with me, Sabrina. I appreciate you listening, downloading, sharing the show. I appreciate you putting up with my sick voice. I know it's not as great, but I appreciate you being here. And again, check all the notes below in the show notes, where you can sign up for the newsletter and sign up for the Facebook community and say hi to me on social media and send me an email and suggest a topic and do all of the things. But until next time, have a good one, and I will see you all next time. Bye, everyone.